All right, and welcome to the third and final round of Poru Drafts here on Community Matters Cast. We've won the die roll. I think let's actually be on the play with this deck. With the blue-green ramp, I think I'm a little more content being on the play. I am happy keeping this. With our deck, just having more cards, I think, sets us up for a better position. So we'll play the desert first. We are going to want all of our lands out, I think. And we do have a creature here, so if we play the desert, then when we play the wall, immediately it's already on. Yeah, I think with our deck, being on the draw is actually better. I don't know that it's the right decision, but I'm kind of curious to try it out and see what it's like. Oh. Wow. Okay. Well, I can see why it took them so long to decide whether or not they're going to... alright, hit a land. That is a risky keep by the opponent. They must have quite the hand there. I think we go ahead and play the wall. The Hopo is nice though, and we'll probably look to play that next turn. Although I could also see an argument being made for Beneath the Sands as well. So I think either could be reasonable. They also have a wall. Alright. Dueling walls. Alright, let's see what we have here. So we have the Hydra. We have the lands for the Hydra. So I think the Sands is now something that we're probably going to look at getting rid of. We don't have anything in the graveyard yet, so countervailing isn't great. I think we just go ahead and play a forest here and then run out the Hopo. And we'll look at playing the Hydra next turn. It'll be a 4/4 actually, so it can stack up against the wall. That being said, wow, they've hit on 3 lands in a row. Obelisk Spider with reach. Wow, that stacks up pretty well. That stacks up pretty well. So it's going to be an interesting match. Okay. Gift of Paradise. Not unhappy to see that card. I think the Hydra is the card to play here. So I think, well, yeah, because we don't have anything in our graveyard, so countervailing winds isn't going to be all that useful. We could play Gift of Paradise and actually cycle Beneath the Sands. Actually, I think I like that. I think I like that play. So we'll put that on the forest and pay 3. It doesn't seem like they're being particularly aggressive, and it's combat damage to a creature. Oh, and they missed the trigger on the wall there. Okay. Wow, they've ripped 4 lands off the top. Ooh, now I can't. I'm a little minorly annoyed about that. When you see an opponent, not play land their first turn, and they're able to just rip lands off the top after not having a single land in hand to start the game, they get rewarded for that. Little bit of annoyance there, not gonna lie. But that is Magic. That is the variance of this game. So, and we didn't cycle that. Okay, whoops. Well, so countervailing winds is back to being a little bit worse. We can play the Hydra and go ahead and play Reason, I think, maybe? I think that seems reasonable. Sorry, that was terrible, and I apologize for that. We're going to go and play Reason here. Let's see what the top 3 look like. Alright, Desert, we're going to look to probably cycle. We probably want do we want the forest? Yeah, let's see. So we have 5. I wouldn't mind having that, so we'll look at, let's see, so what do we want first? So we'll play the Hydra. I think we want this guy on the very top, because we want to be able to cycle that, put a card in the yard for the countervailing winds, and also make the Hydra 5/5. The Forest, I think, is pretty negligible, although by the time we've drawn into it, we'd be at a point where we could maybe need it. Now let's go ahead and put the Forest on the bottom. We'll put the Hopo on top, and we'll put the Desert on top. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and play the Hydra. And with the Hydra, now it's a 4/4 because we have the Desert on the board. And this is getting interesting. So we have to be careful about the Obelisk Spider. We're not going to be able to, unfortunately, block anything yet. But we'll plan on cycling the Desert when we draw into it next turn. Would have been nice to have been able to cycle the Beneath the Sands. That was definitely a misplay on my part. That's a bad habit of mine, actually, when it comes to Magic Online, is I have a tendency to click OK, so I use the hotkey 1 sometimes. So you know sometimes I've been trying to make sure I physically click on a computer, right? Click the OK, because that forces me to slow down my decision making, which is good. But in the games like both of our first two games, clicking OK, we were running out of, or both of our first two matches, the first games of our first two matches were long, and this one is shaping up to be an equally long game. And they, just as a side note, our opponent missed the trigger with the, oh no, they didn't miss the trigger, right? I've been saying they missed the trigger. They don't have a Desert, so they can't be missing that. Ooh, Fervent Paincaster. Well, that doesn't need a trigger now, does it? Spring to Mind. Okay. Well, so they can actually cast Mind, or Spring at us, and they can cast Mind off the back using the gift. Which is good. That is good. Got another Forest. So our opponent's looking pretty solid right now. If they attack with the Spider, we're just going to happily eat it with the Hydra. And make sure to ping them with the wall. And pass the turn, well, or rather, pass priority back. Okay, so here, so what are we doing here? We could go ahead, I think maybe we attack with the Hydra. So they're tapped out. They might set up for a double block. We would lose the Hydra, but we would get two very frustrating cards off the board. Which I think is probably an okay trade. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead, attack with the Hydra. Wow, they're just going to take the 4. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and just cycle the Desert then. No reason to not get that. There's the Hopo. Okay, well, So I don't think we played the Hopo here, because we already have one, and with the Obelisk Spider still there, it is a bit awkward for us. We have 2 cards in the yard, although they now have, 7 mana available, so Countervailing Winds does seem a little bit worse. We could plan on leaving up Unsummon and Beneath the Sands, which I think, leaving up Beneath the Sands, plan on cycling Beneath the Sands, rather. And I think that's the play. So we can have the blue for the Unsummon, and then cycle Beneath the Sands end step, and make Countervailing Winds a little bit better. Now, that being said, if they tap out for some monstrosity of a card, some giant 7 mana spell, then I'm happy to counter it with Countervailing Winds, but or cycle something, and then they have 5. So if they play anything 4-drop, 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2. Let's see what they have now. Oh, Soul Stinger. Oh, I am happy. Yeah, sure. I'll counter that. That would be an annoying card to deal with. That's for sure. And they'd have to deal with 2. And I don't have 2. Hey, and it gets countered. Countervailing Winds. Surprisingly good card. Surprisingly good card. That's kind of how I feel about it. Okay, well, honestly, that worked out pretty well. I am not unhappy with how that went. So, really attack here. Make sure to ping them. Ooh, Aerial Guide. Well, that's just, well, so it's not as great because they still have that spider. That spider there. That being said, I think we still just attack with the Hydra. It's just a really big card now. And I think we're just in a spot where it makes sense for us to be aggressive here and attacking. So, and I think they're going to have to block. Still not blocking. Wow. Okay. So we might go ahead and play out the Hopo and the Guide. Because then that gives us 4, 9 power in the air. So if they don't gain life, then they're dead. Yeah. Yeah, that seems good. I'll go ahead and do double blue and blue. And then we can unsummon the obelisk. This obelisk spider. And get in for lethal next turn. So, and we do deal another point from the Pharaoh. 1 point to us. Yep, they have a desert in the graveyard. Okay. And gonna ping with the caster. Imagine so. Yep. Let's see. Trying to think. Yeah, using the unsummon on the obelisk spider is going to be how we clean this up real quick. Without any way to deal with the flyers, the guide attacks in, gives the Hydra flying, and then that's, yeah, the 9 damage we need. And we're going to be able to ping for 8, yeah, down 1, so they'd have to play Gift again. So I think we're looking pretty good here. If they have any kind of, I mean, of course I say that, and yet any removal spell will drastically alter the board state. Well, not super drastically, but significantly alter the board state here. Wasteland Scorpion, that's not going to get the job done. Still just on the ground. Let's see if they can find some kind of removal. Nothing yet. All right, get that ping in. Good, and unsummon the spider. And I think this is a scoop. Maybe they could have spidery grasp, so that's a real thing, right? But let's go ahead and get in. So yeah, they do still have outs. I shouldn't. Torment of Venom. Okay. Okay, well, that does stop that. So yeah, that is good. I will... What am I going to discard? I'll just discard the Sands, actually. That's not a card I really particularly need. So, we'll attack with the 2 Hopos. Okay, so Torn and Ventum. Okay. So they did have an out, they did have removal there. But I think our clock is still just faster. So we can put 2 points down. Play this. And now we actually have the Hopo up as well. So I get to ping us for 2, but we have 5 mana now, and we can start casting the Hopo every turn. So they'll get to play the Obelisk Spider again. Yep, and they have 4 mana left. I don't know that they're going to attack with anything. I wouldn't expect them to. Wonder and Death. Okay. Well, Moaning Wall and Soul Stinger. So Soul Stinger will be frustrating. Ping them. And go ahead and use this. 2 life and draw a card. That's an excellent card for us here. I'll just go ahead and run out the Bitterbow. So go that. Oh, nope. Cancel. Go 1, 2, leave that up, and go 2 green from here. Alright. And we'll just pass the turn, I think. So we will get pinged again for 2, but I mean, with the Hopos, yeah, we can keep gaining that life. Ooh, and they missed the triggers. Bit quick on the click there. I know that feeling, as we just talked about. So, and we keep getting to ping them for 1, which is good. The Hydra has Trample, so we can attack with that, we can attack the Sharpshow. Getting to put the counter on will impact the Spider. So we do have to be careful about that. I don't know what maybe put it on the wall probably. Make sure it's a big 4/5. Now gonna put it on itself. Try and kill something off. Interesting. Oh yeah, whenever you put one on, yeah, okay. That's pretty good. You gotta be careful about that guy. 1, 2, 3. What we got? Lethal Sting? Moaning Wall. Okay. Moaning Wall is good here. Completely blocks blocks this guy. So go ahead and ping that. Draw a card. Stripe Riverwinder's pretty good. I think we might play that here. Again, just like making the board big. Making the board big and tough for them to deal with. So, and the Riverwinder's actually able to block the Soul Stinger very effectively. I think we had the mana to do this. Yeah, we got the mana to do this. Cool. Go ahead, play that. And pass the turn back to them. Make sure to get their 2 pings in. Go ahead and yield to that. I'm not going to always yield to that because this pings me, but this could potentially ping a creature, and there may come a time where it makes sense to actually make sure, like, to be careful about that. So, something to keep in mind as far as doing that. Yep, draw 2 cards off Mind. Pretty good. We're pretty even on creatures right now, but if I attack in the air, let's see. Well, so if I attack, the Obelisk, so the Spider's going to get to put a counter on something. Wonder and Death, cycle that. Wow, you had 2. Good thing I haven't killed any of you guys yet. Get in for your ping. And pass the turn. Pass back to me, rather. Our Promise is fine. Not really, like, super excited about this card. But I guess we can go ahead and do it. Does give us a little more power on the board. A little more spread. The Obelisk Spider. So I'm trying to think how this is going to go down. So if it does damage to anything, then I get drained for 1. I think it might be better to actually leave the hope. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 cards. Might make sense to just do the Hopo for now. Just to make sure I keep my life total up. I mean, we're at 20 cards. I don't think we're really in danger of burning through that too quickly. Draw land. Okay, so that's fine. Let's see. Whenever you put one or more -1/-1 counters on creatures. Okay. Yep. Interesting. Okay, so I can play the Defined Great Maw, put the counters probably on the wall. Now I have another 4/5. Another good creature. Yeah, the hour's fine in this case, but 2 zombies isn't really going to get the job done. And what I'm looking for is just to outlast him for another 4 turns. At some point, as soon as he starts attacking, I'm going to be able to just attack back for a ton. And I think he knows this. I know this. So I think that's where we're sitting right now. Wretched Camel. It's a creature, hey. I have Desert in the yard, so I'd have to discard something. So that is something to keep in mind. I want to make sure I have a card there. Hope Tender. More ramp. So it might be worth playing Promise next turn, just to make sure I have a board that can handle those 2 as well. Importantly, I haven't seen any life gain from them. Something like Cartouche would be brutal here. Let's see. So, I could play the Hauler and the Great Maul. And take a counter off the Stinger and put 2 counters on the wall. That doesn't seem terrible, but then I'd have to, what, discard something Camel? I could just play the Hour, and then I have 2 lands, that puts me at 9, and then I'm able to play it, do a Hauler and a Hopo next turn. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. I think that seems reasonable. Go and do Hour of Promise. Go and grab the Desert of the Mindful and Endless Sands. Have 2 zombies on the board. Pass the turn. Ping me for 2. Yep. So there, I will say, something like Driven to Despair would be incredibly brutal for me right now. So they do have outs. I'm sure, green-black deck, it's not, they don't have a bad deck. So, Horde the Broken Lands. That's just a good card. That was a good card. Starting to build up quite the board state here. Okay, not attacking with anything. Make sure to ping. Okay. Play land. Let's see. So we now have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. So I can leave up for the Hopo and play the Great Maw. Play the Hauler. Let's see. Playing the Great Maw seems good because it just can blank things now. So 1, 2, 3. And we'll put the counters on the wall. Maybe a little risky. I might actually go ahead and play the Quarry Hauler and take a counter off the wall. Just to do that. Let's actually go ahead and do that. Yeah, I think that feels a little bit better. And that way we can also leave up Endless Sands, so if they do have a targeted removal spell, we can do something like that. Go ahead and take one off the wall. Move. Okay. Yeah, I just have zero reason to, I think, want to be aggressive here. Like, yes, alphing would probably win, but, like, I'm not 100% sure about that fact. And as long as he doesn't find any life gain, then Torment of Venom. Okay. I can't, oh yeah. So they do gain life there, that's annoying. Alright, I'll sack a zombie to it. So they get to drain. They get to ping for 2. Oh, they missed the pings. Eesh. Okay. Cycling for the horror. Okay, so the horror's big. The horror is big. I found another spell, but just a Vitalist. I'm not too upset about that. I don't think they can really attack with much here. Something like Hour of Eternity would just be a backbreaker. Although, let's see, I only have 2 creatures in the yard. Might actually cast Believe. Just to believe. But we're not 100% sure about that. What we are probably going to do is at least use one of the Hopos. Because we're at, what, 11 mana? Alright. Go ahead and ping. Ping away. Kudu is, I mean, fine. I think we'll go ahead and play Believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go 5. Let's see. Let's see what Believe hits. Oh. Yeah. Yes. I'll take a Greater Sandworm. Yeah, that's great. And then we'll do the Hopo at the end of next turn. Oh, they missed the 2 pings again. Of course, if we don't have to use Endless Sands, of course. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. This looks like a 4-color deck, I guess. 4-ish color deck. I don't know that Paincaster is worth splashing for. So, I will say, as long as they don't have a way to put -1/-1 counters on things, I think we win next turn. Unquenchable Thirst? Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and make sure we ping you. That's a pretty good card. I don't know I splash blue for it, but it's a good card here. It is a good card. That's for sure. Go ahead and use the Hopo. Oh, I should have done that, actually. Still could, actually. What I'm talking about is I could use Endless Sands to exile the creature. So I could exile the wall and get the wall back. I could also just play Winds and do that as well. So there are options. Especially because I think attacking out doesn't actually get me there. Except it does, because I don't think anything else has reach. So if I bounce the Obelisk, then I think I win, because they're out of cards. In hand, I don't see any Aftermath cards in here. Whoop, nope. Bring that back. There you go. So I think if we just wins the Spider, I think we win, because we can just attack with the Hopo and do the last point of 1. And we move to attack. Again, I don't see a way. I don't see any reach. I don't see any way to give it reach. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. So another long first game. This deck is, I guess, made for grinding these games out. It's not quick, but it is effective once it gets going. The Hopos are just all-star cards. So we didn't get to cast Hour. Would have been good, though. Against this deck, I think our creature count's pretty reasonable. Like As Foretold, maybe, but you know, we don't really run into mana issues, and I don't think there's anything clever you can really do with it. So I think we're probably just good to run this deck back. So this is tough. I guess we'll go ahead and I guess we'll keep this. I'm very iffy on it, but we have enough ways, I think, to find things that I'm not too upset. So we'll go ahead and keep this hand. Normally I'd mulligan, but against this opponent I'm not feeling terrible about it. They also don't seem to be a super fast deck, so if we draw into a land, into a green source at some point, and then we'll have pretty good options. And we have Hour of Eternity, which is just a great card. It's really just a great card. So we'll go for the wall. Now we really need to start hoping and praying. We hit that forest. So desert would also work well in this case. Desert would also work well. Moaning Wall. Alright, Battle of the Defenders, I see. Alright, well, we got to the forest. Unfortunately, the Moaning Wall does a good job of actually blocking our guys here. That being said, I don't think there's a reason not to go ahead and run this guy out. I think it's better just keep building up the board. And put the counter on the wall. There's a non-negligible chance that I could actually just use the grasp. Soul Stinger, okay. On itself, sure. Interesting. So I think I'm fine trading the Kudu off because I do have the Eternities. Next turn we can go for the Sharpshooter. Promise also seems okay here because I can go and get 2 deserts to turn on the wall. So I think that might actually be the play for next turn. I might keep up the grasp now and let him attack in. Is it worth trading a grasp for the Soul Stinger? I don't think so. At least not right now. Because he could like double block, and I don't want to trade the grasp for the Moaning Wall. That doesn't make I don't think that's a sound strategy. So we'll just keep the grasp in hand. Let's see what they got. Manolith. Yeah, so they are going 4 color. The only color we haven't seen from them is white. So green and 2. Let's see what they got. Another creature. Obelisk Spider. Oh, that is an annoying card. Okay, didn't think they would attack there. Ooh. So I think we do just actually play this here. Because then that way next turn, well, At some point I want to cast the Promise. And it'll be nice to be able to get 2 zombies out of it. I think we actually play the Bitterbow here, though. Because that way it at least kills the spider, which I think is relevant. Again, if the Kudu wants to trade off, if they want to trade the Soul Stinger for the Kudu, I think I'm fine with that choice. And hell, I need creatures in my graveyard anyways for the hour to hit. So if they want to start trading creatures, I think I'm okay with that choice here. And the nice part is we can play Desert and then actually play Hour and put 2 more deserts, and we're going to put 3 lands on the board at once and put 2 zombies on there as well. And that does turn on the wall as well. So I think that was the right sequencing there. Although I'm not sure. Again, I guess I haven't said it too much in this draft series. But in general, anything you guys agree, disagree with, think I'm an idiot and miss something, let me know in the comments below. Ooh, wow, we are drawing all of the lands. So go ahead and play the Desert. And then we'll play the Wall. Not the Wall. Play Hour of Promise. I started thinking about the Wall, and then I thought about the album, and my mind went all over the place. So we'll go and grab Endless Sands and grab the Desert, the Green Desert. So we got 2 zombies now. just since that way it bounces out our mana on board a little bit more. Won't attack just yet. And so now, at some point, we'll start getting a little more aggressive with things. At some point. We don't need to be too aggressive. I do want to make sure that when I attack, I can actually, like, get some value out of it. So we'll probably keep the force in hand for the camel. We'll ping with the wall. Pull from tomorrow. Pretty good card here. I think we do go ahead and attack with the sharpshooters. And see how they line up the blocks. Yeah, I think we attack with the sharpshooters. Yeah, because at some point we need to start putting cards. We need to start putting creature cards in the graveyard for hour to hit. Let's see, am I okay with this trade here? Probably. Let's see, whenever you put a creature on one more. So we'll die and put counters on the bitter bow. Yeah, I think I'm fine with this here. Go ahead and trade those cards off. So we'll drain me one, which is fine here. So go ahead and kill the sharpshooter. That's fine. Triggers that. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and yield to this, I think. I don't see this being a crucial exchange, shall we say. Could have actually exiled the sharpshooters using the Endless Sands. That actually, I think, would have been the right play there. Because it kills the Soul Stinger, I get to keep the sharpshooters for later. But I think this is fine for now. We'll keep this in case they attack with the camel. Otherwise, I think we cast Pull from Tomorrow on end step. I think that's probably the play, and we'll ping them, of course, with the wall. Expect they'll get it with the camel. Yep. And they did. Happily block. Actually, no. There's no reason to. We'll block with the kudu. If they have a trick to pump it, go for it. Yep. And that is on me to discard now. Yep. Happily discard a forest. The kudu stays alive. Unless they have Torment of Venom. They could have Torment, actually. I mean, we know they have it. We saw it last game. Wandering Death. Ooh, getting back both of those guys. Okay. Well, that is good. That's frustrating, if I'm being honest. Play the Soul Stinger. Which triggers the spider. Okay, put it on itself. Okay. And I have a second Wandering Death because I saw him cycle it. So, it's a thing to be aware of. Alright, so we'll ping them here. And then we will go ahead and I think pull. 1, 2, and then go for 5, or just go for, just swing out. Why not? Go for 6. Yeah, discard 1, that'll put us to 7 cards in hand. Seems pretty good. And then we'll go ahead and discard Desert here. Wow, we are working our way through our lands, because we have, what, 1, 2 lands in the yard, plus 6, so 8, 10, 11, 14, and we're playing 17, so we have 3 lands left. I think I'm okay with that. Countervailing Winds will be nice. We'll go ahead and play the Hopo here. At some point we want to start putting creatures in the graveyard, but for now this is fine. And we'll just go ahead and pass the turn here. We'll double block. Actually just block with the kudu on the Soul Stinger. I think it's fine. If they do that attack. Wish we had more ways to discard these lands. Yeah, play the camel. As you can see, one of the real big drawbacks for our deck is the fact that we don't have a way to really deal with targeted. We can't just target the obelisk. Oh boy, and we are running out of time. Bale's hadn't noticed that, so we're going to play a little bit quicker now. We keep drawing these cards. So we're going to go ahead and main phase cast, I think, the Hopo. Gain 2 life, draw a card. I think we go ahead and cycle this here. Yeah, let's cycle it. So we'll do that. And then... Oh, those were the wrong lands to tap. We want to make sure we left blue up for countervailing winds. So that's frustrating to try and deal with. But... So, yeah, because we wouldn't be able to counter this with 6 cards. Lurching Rot Beast. Okay, that's still not terrible. What we really want to see is the Greater Sandworm. So if we can kill the Rot Beast, we have the Greater Sandworm, and that can actually attack past all of these guys. So they only have 2 power, and that's our big win con, I think, at this moment. The Hydra, also not a terrible card to see here. Definitely want to keep countervailing winds. Okay, play an island and then play the Quarry Hauler. So go ahead and get that guy out there. Go ahead and pull a counter off of... is that right? Oh, that may have been wrong, actually. Let's add a counter to Soul Stinger. Why not? Then go ahead and pass the turn here. Almost forgot the ping. Yeah, we're running out of time here. Okay. Definitely need to draw the Hopo. Using the Hopo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a big card coming up here. Horror of the Broken Lands. We'll go ahead and counter you. So we do have a number of dead draws in our deck. So we need to find our creatures. Might have been more correct to play the Hopo there, but this also isn't terrible. I forgot to ping again. Let's see. Oh, we only have 1 creature in the yard. Oosh. Oosh, oosh, oosh. Play land, and I think just go ahead and pass the turn here. I guess we'll go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopo. We could hit that. We didn't, but we will go ahead and play this anyways. Go ahead, put the counters on the wall. There's another creature. I think we probably look at... we have to make a big attack at some point. We need 1 or 2 more creatures on the board. Torment of Venom. Okay, that's fine. Sure. We'll just lose 3 life. Not super attached to it. That does give us another good target for that, though. So that's good. Let's see if we can keep playing quick. Remnap Hydra. Nice card here. So play that. We will play another Forest, and... oh, man. I think we go ahead and snap this off for 7. So I think we go ahead and put these guys down, and we plan on unsummoning the Soul Stinger next turn and swing out. Because that is 4, 13, 21, 24, 28, 29 damage. And if we unsummon the Soul Stinger, they only have 4 blockers, so if they don't play a creature here, we're looking pretty good. We can also use Spider Grasp to try and force in the last point or 2 of damage. So I think that's probably what we do here. Yeah, I think that needs to be what we do here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Final reward. Okay, fine. Got it. You got it. Greater Sandworm, that's the card I'm looking for. Alright, let's actually go ahead and... So we're going to unsummon the Soul Stinger. And then we move to attacks, and we're just swinging with everything. Just go for all. Just take it all. Yep, so that'll bounce, which is fine. Spider probably blocks with the zombies and will kill a zombie. I don't know, Spider's gonna block there. Interesting. And, I guess save the save point of damage. That'll trade. You're not gonna do that. Interesting. Okay, so you are going to go with killing a zombie, and you'll trade there. And you'll take, what? 13 points of damage? Oh, that seems fine. You'll go back up one, I'll go down one. This seems fine. Do I want to save anybody? Nah. That's good. I could kill the wall, but nah. Okay. Fine. Discard. Fine. Cool. And Greater Sandworm go. Alright, sorry. Definitely went a bit in the tank there. Whew, yeah, we're getting close, so I think this is probably pretty well locked up for us. Our guys were just bigger than theirs were, which is really the key consideration there. I think unsummoning the Soul Stinger was right. I think it made the combat math a little bit easier. I think it made it more favorable for us. And the Soul Stinger being able to kind of tangentially kill something if it died, and then using the counters would have been awkward for us. They will be able to drain us for one by playing the Soul Stinger back out. So, but if they put the counters on the Soul Stinger, then then nothing they have can be blocked by the Greater Sandworm, or can rather block the Greater Sandworm, which means that then even being at 7, the Sandworm is by itself is lethal. They'll be back down to 6 though because of the wall, and then if one thing goes through, we have Spidery Grasp. So they are going to go ahead, I suspect, and play the Soul Stinger. Okay, so they're going to put it on the wall, so that way they do have something that can block the Sandworm. I mean, that seems reasonable here. And then they got one more creature it looks like they're going to play. Give them one more blocker. Ah, Cartouche of Strength. Okay. So they're going to have it fight the Hydra. So I think we play this here. Go ahead and play that on the Hydra. It'll kill the Soul Stinger, and then I'm good to go. So you don't have to fight, is the thing. Okay, so they didn't have to fight. Makes sense. Do that. Ping. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and attack here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think they survive here. Yep, so they're blocking that. I think you have to block the Sandworm here, don't you? Because the Soul Stinger is the only thing that can block the worm. Okay. Okay. Alright, well, that was a bit of an odd ending. Hectic ending, though, to that last match. So, with that, we managed to claw back to a solid 2-1 finish with a pretty fun blue-green ramp deck. Pseudo ramp deck. I think it was kind of ramp deck. We always end up with a ton of mana. We had a lot of ways to stall the game mid-game and get to the late game where we just had really powerful cards that we could cast. Hour of Eternity was, I think, a card that ended up being a lot better than I was expecting it to be, or had heard about it being. The one downside actually to having that card in our deck was the fact that we didn't necessarily get involved in combat a lot, so we didn't always have creatures actually in the graveyard to target with the Hour. So that was a bit of a downside, but it was kind of encouraging. You know, we can trade off, clear the board a little bit, then we cast Hour of Eternity, and now suddenly we have a bunch of 4/4s on the field, and we've decimated their board. So actually, in that sense, Imaginary Threats may have been a little bit better card to combo with that. It's kind of interesting to think about. I would actually know that would have been good, though. Yeah, long games, though. A lot of decisions. I apologize for the length of this draft series. Ended up being a lot longer than I was expecting. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. This was my second time recording for Community Matters Cast. Again, my name is Poru. If you liked the video, or any of the videos that you've watched, please be sure to like. If you like the content we've been making, me and Raruto, then please, subscribe to our channel. We love every subscriber that we have. Honestly, at this point, send us a message. We will definitely be replying to you because, we want to get to know you guys, want to get to know the community. There's a reason our name is Community Matters Cast. So, all right. Well, hope you all enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you all the next time we do this.